Hey folks, Colin Richards here. I'm president and founder of Lord & Richards, and I'm excited to be with you again today on this episode of the Lord & Richards Show. And as you know, at Lord & Richards, we are focused on helping our clients become financially independent from a biblical point of view. And so what we do is we help you build a written plan. And by the way, plans that aren't written down have a pretty low likelihood of success. And we help you build a written plan to achieve financial independence, addressing market risk, the instability and volatility in our world today, addressing the possibility that money could run out if it's not planned in advance, addressing the significant healthcare costs that people are facing today in retirement, addressing tax and legacy concerns, all of this critical so that you can retire with peace of mind. And we do all that so that you can have an amazing retirement and do wonderful things with the resources God has put at your disposal. Well, one of the challenges we've faced recently here is the issue of bank insolvency. And as we discussed in a previous segment, what is happening in the banks, we pointed out, there are weaknesses. Banks are required to have what's called a fractional reserve, right? So they don't have to have all the money ready to hand out and maintain solvency. They don't have to do that. Often a very small fraction of that money is available. And when they're forced to liquidate assets because of a loss of confidence, then the bank can fail, right? Because they could lose money. Well, there's also FDIC insurance, but remember there's limits on that, limits on FDIC insurance. So where can we really go for safety? We rely on our banks to be safe places for money, but the events recently have reminded us, there's not a perfect solution in banks. Well, there is another solution. There's no such thing as a perfect solution, but I think an even better solution, and that is on the insurance side of the finance world. First of all, insurance companies control far more money than banks. It's told anecdotally that during the Great Depression, it was the banks who drove up to the back doors of, it was insurance companies who drove up to the back doors of banks to bail them out, to keep them floating. And insurance companies are known as having a lot of cash. Why? Because they're used to having to pay it out. And so the government requires them, and by the way, they're regulated a little bit more closely at the state level. So the government requires them to keep what are called legal reserves. That means that very often, instead of a fraction of the money, they actually have to have assets valued at quite a bit more than what they would have to pay out if they had to pay out everything. So that's quite an encouragement. So when using insurance and annuities as part of a retirement plan, recognize that we are relying primarily upon the strength of that carrier, the claims paying ability of the carrier. And we want to make sure we're working with highly rated carriers, right? And so the rate of failure of insurance companies is significantly lower than banks. And we recommend also recognizing that the states offer additional protection. So when you incorporate investment type insurance products or investment type annuity products, you're coming underneath the protection of what's called the State Guarantee Association. Now, those limits are set by account and by the states, but they're worth looking up and knowing. Beyond that, there's also the deposits that you keep at a brokerage. And recognize that the brokerage system has its own version of protection. It's called the Securities Investor Protection Corporation, a nonprofit corporation mandated by the government, and they cover up to $500,000 in securities, up to $250,000 in uninvested cash. So there's a lot of protected places to put your money. But here's the thing. When we're designing your portfolio so that you can retire financially independent, one of the major reasons we're going to not just use banks is because the purpose of money should dictate where you put it. Where should you put money that you need for short-term expenses? Well, that sounds like the bank, right? We recommend maybe a 3 to 6 month cash reserve there at the bank, and that's it. Going beyond that, now we want to have some additional liquid money that we can get to if we need to, maybe as much as 30 to 40% of our money in investments that can grow, but don't leave those naked in the market, because the big issue there is not, can I grow? The big issue is, can I keep my past growth? right? Because markets are volatile, especially right now. So not putting everything there. And then finally, having a significant portion of your retirement literally insured. If you talk to the most knowledgeable people in risk management today, they'll tell you, look, if you want to manage risk, nobody does that like fixed annuity and fixed life insurance companies. So you can literally invest under their umbrella of protection, under their umbrella of safety, and build moderate to sometimes significant growth in the value of your portfolio. You say, well, aren't there drawbacks and aren't there issues with those kinds of investments? There are with every single kind. Typically, when we're talking about banks, the issue is not much growth. When we're talking about brokerage accounts, where the issue is safety and making sure we have what we call at Lord & Richards institutional risk management, managing risk like an institution would, not like a fly-by-night investment firm. And then third and finally, there's an appropriate place for money that you want to use to fund your retirement. Did you realize that you could actually guarantee your retirement? That you don't have to leave it up to the whims of our market or the whims of our banking system, that you can actually generate a lifetime of income that you can outlive, all while still participating in the growth opportunity of the market. And you can do it safely and without fear. That's part of what we at Lord & Richards call an income plan, a written income plan. And most investors that I'm talking to today have failed to understand the power of that. At Lord & Richards, of course, we're fiduciaries. We're investment advisors. We have certified financial planners on our team. We have certified tax specialists on our team, Series 65 licensed investment advisors on our team, and on and on. And so we want to do what's best for you and what's best for your retirement. And that includes opening our eyes to the full breadth, the banking industry, the brokerage industry, and the assurance and annuity industry, the full breadth of opportunities to make sure not only does your portfolio have the opportunity to grow, not only is it safe and within reasonable boundaries, but also that you have income that is reliable, consistent, and allows you to never have to go back to work again. And so the question, is my money safe? I guess that depends on where you put it. If you're going to put it at risk, I suggest let's put it somewhere where it will be institutionally risk managed so that you don't have to worry about it going an unlimited bottom to your investment. Let's put in place special tools that will help reduce or eliminate some of that downside. And then let's have other tools where you're absolutely principal protected. That's where insurance and annuities come in. They can protect your principal and help you lock in gains on autopilot every single year and generate income that you can outlive. Well, this is all part of a comprehensive plan we call a financial independence review. And at Lord & Richards, we're having discussions with folks like you every single day. And I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to explore your situation and see how we can be of help. It really starts with just a simple phone call and a great conversation.